Okay, so today we're heading to Matsumoto Castle, which is a really cool castle. It's surrounded by 3 moats, and we'll be crossing over the moats and into the grounds, which will show us the different parts of the castle and how it was set out with an inner and an outer area. This open ground was the original Ninomara Palace, and it was the official residence and administrative centre of the local lord. It no longer stands, but archaeological discoveries have revealed the layout of the grounds, etc. This is the Taiko Mon Gate. It was constructed in the late 16th century, and it served as the formal entry into the palace area. It's rather grand, and you can imagine the experience of officials and samurai and honoured guests arriving and looking at the castle from that angle. The samurai lived in the castle. There were hundreds of the elite warriors, and contrary to popular belief, they were not only expert swordsmen, they also served as administrators, scholars and retainers who followed a strict ethical code known as Bushido, or the way of the warrior. During peaceful times, the samurai spent more time studying literature, calligraphy and strategy than actually fighting. Once we get in the castle, you'll see all the staircases that were designed to slow down invading enemies, but of course the samurai knew their way around and they could easily outmaneuver the enemies. This is just an example of a samurai costume, so you can imagine moving in that. The castle not only remains a masterpiece of Japanese architecture, but a living reminder of the country's feudal history, where military strength, political power and everyday life came together within these walls. You can see the incredible timbers that it's made from, and then the views out the window obviously would have overlooked a beautiful town that was made up of merchants and craftsmen and farmers supporting the samurai community. Many of the streets in the original town would have been intentionally narrow and slightly curved even to confuse potential attackers. But today parts of the old Matsumoto town still retain their historic atmosphere, with merchant houses and sake breweries and small shops. It was an amazing castle. It has the nickname the Black Crow because it's very dark timbers and painted black. But the craftsmanship of the building itself, being built completely out of timbers, was just incredible. The moats themselves now obviously have koi fish and birds, etc. But they obviously were used originally as a deterrent for enemies, because as you can see with the surrounding mountains, you would have seen enemies coming. They would have had to have exposed themselves in the water in order to have gotten to the castle, and it makes attacking a castle surrounded by a moat so much harder. You can see the height of the walls, and getting into the castle would have been hard, but it was an absolutely stunning castle. It looks like 5 levels from the outside, but inside there's a secret 6th floor which has no external windows, and that was the floor that the samurai could hide in, and the enemy wouldn't have realized that there was that additional floor in there when they were planning their attack. But we had a beautiful day at this castle, and thoroughly enjoyed looking around at this little slice of Japanese history.